I'm Jenny. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm so happy you're here. I appreciate you spending some time with me. So last time we were together, we made these cards for this little envelope journal that I had put together and started decorating. I started it, I'd gotten the front done and some of the little ruffles here, and I showed you guys that I hadn't really done much more. So today I want to finish it up. So in the meantime, I have just gone in and literally used my bag of scraps to fill in all of the empty spots on the envelopes. And then I went back and used my finger tools, handy dandy finger tools, and just spread a little bit of gesso over each surface, just to kind of marry it all together and push it into the background. So now I am ready to finish it up. We have all of the cards that we made last time that we're going to fill the journal pockets with. These where we used our formula, we used a piece of book page, a piece of lace, a lady, and some butterfly wings. So each of them has that. The other thing I have done in the meantime is I have put some affirmations on the back, and I will flip through and show you those. Actually, we can take a look at those now before we start. So the smaller ones have one or two, and some of them I just put some stickers on if there was space. So I just have some affirmations. I am beautiful inside and out. This one says I am powerful, I am persistent. This one says, I make a difference in this world. Oh. This one says, I deserve success. I am vibrant and creative. I am of great worth. I am strong. I am fearless. Like I am woman, hear me roar, right? I am worthy of all the goodness in life. I am wise because I learn from my mistakes. I have unlimited potential. I am a miracle. I listen to my inner voice. I am the master of my own destiny. And finally, I love and accept myself as I am. I celebrate my quirks. I can and I will. So each of them I just wrote in my own handwriting. This is for my daughter. So, you know, someday down the road, I would like her to be able to go back and see my quirky, kind of terrible handwriting. You know, and just know her mom loves her. So each of them has that and then some stickers on them. So just what I showed you here. So because the cards each have some lace and a lady and a butterfly, and the front I had already decorated before I started anything else. I had done the front, and so this has a butterfly and some flowers on it. So I thought that each of the envelopes might get a flower and or a butterfly. So maybe a combination thereof together. So I'll show you what I have done. I have fussy cut some butterflies out. These came from a piece of shelf liner, so they smell good too. They're perfumed. So all these butterflies, let me separate out from the flowers here. All these butterflies came from a piece of shelf liner paper. I got this shelf liner in a roll. The roll was unopened. I got it at Goodwill, and there are 8 or 10 sheets in the roll. I can show you the roll. But the whole roll and the fancy little box it came in was, you know, was only, I want to say it was like $2. I want to say it was like $4, but it was on the half price color. It was whatever the color tag was for the day. So I just went through and did some quick fussy cutting on these. You will notice I did not try to cut out the antenna. We can use a marker to put that in. So there are varying sizes and colors on the butterflies. Let me grab that paper so you can see what it looks like. So here's what I purchased. As I said, I cut up one sheet. So it came with this box, and it was sealed in the box. This was, the roll had not been opened. And this is the shelf paper, the drawer liner paper that came with it. So I think it's really beautiful, and I'm looking forward to using pieces. This could be a great cover for a journal. It could be a great starting point for layering some other stuff on top. All kinds of things, I think. So I thought that was a really great buy for $2. And it has, what did I say? Okay, I said it had 8 sheets. It has 6 sheets. 6. So that's where all the butterflies came from. Now for the flowers, I have a couple of different things. I have some that came from an old desk calendar. So these were like flower drawings on the beginnings of month and stuff. And you can see this one's got like some little places to write in, you know, dates and times and places and things like that. So these came from an old desk calendar. So I have just kind of fussy cut around. I left a lot of the white in there just because I didn't want to cut like out every bit of the middle. So we might put a little distress ink on those to age them down a little bit. We'll see how they look. Some of them have more than others. I probably should have put the ink on before I cut them out. And then I have these, which are just printed on a yellow background. So there's a couple of those are the same. And they came from an address book. So here's the rest of it. I haven't cut these pages up yet because they have pictures on both sides, and I don't know which side I want to cut out. These were divider pages and only had flowers on one side. So this had just a little bit here, but you can see there was, you know, mostly lines. So if it was something that was just a little bit, you know, around the edge or whatever, I went ahead and cut out the major pieces. That's what these are. But on these pages, I can't decide which side to cut out. So I haven't cut them yet. I thought I would just leave them in my stash like this until I get ready to use them, and then I'll know which side I want. Because sometimes you've got like something smaller, like a spray, which is more on the order of this one, very similar. But then on the other side, you have something larger, right? And this one too has a really fun one there, right? Okay, so you get the idea. So all I did was just fussy cut some of those things as well. So my plan is to just flip through and find you know, a butterfly and or a flower or set of flowers to go on each one. And so I'm just gonna kind of grab some here. I do have a few smaller ones, I think, for like this is a pretty small envelope. This one's pretty tall. So that's kind of pretty. And then this would give our butterfly something to, you know, hover around. So maybe up like that. That one's a little big, maybe. And you know, if we don't put a flower and a butterfly on each one, that's okay. I'm okay if it's just a flower or just a butterfly. Oh, something like that. I like how that picks up the orange. So I promised myself that I wasn't gonna overthink it. So I'm just gonna start sticking them down when I find one I like. So the question is like, should we go kind of all the way to the bottom with those? Or should we kind of just pick a place? I think I like it there. All right. So hopefully I'm gonna get this finished up. I've enjoyed doing it. I've had a good time with it, but I always have 2 or 3 projects going, and so I started another project, of course, before I finished this one. But in my head, you know, like once I cut stuff out and I plan it out in my head and I know how it's gonna look like in my brain, I kind of have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Once I know what I'm gonna do, then it's kind of just a matter of doing it. But that's I don't want to say it's the easy part, but I mean, maybe I guess it is, because you've already thought it through. And so, you know, then my head just kind of goes on to something else. Oops, trying to work on my paper over here. I've got a piece of old catalog thing to do some gluing on, and so, but now it's stuck. Okay, so I just don't want to overthink these. I think I just want to kind of put some stuff on there and glue it down if I like it, instead of worrying about, you know, is this one the right one for this, and should I put it somewhere else, and that kind of thing. So this one is fairly small. I do like how the gesso pushes things into the background. I always think that's a good way to go with the layering, because you can still see the stuff back there. The colors are still there, but it's not, you know, it's not taking over or overpowering what's going on above. Okay, so these are a little big, maybe. Maybe this one, maybe this one. I don't really want it to hang out over the edge too much, because I don't want it, you know, to catch. So, okay, I've got some little bits and pieces. So we could just do a few little, what should I do with that little butterfly? I had a small butterfly here. Where's it gone? I don't think that's the one I had, but that's okay. Maybe this way. I don't know, I don't really care for those little flowers there, I don't think. They're not really big enough to make a statement. Maybe just a larger, maybe we should just go with a larger butterfly and let that be the statement here. Oh, I kind of like that one. Hey, maybe I like that one. Yeah, I think that one's a good choice. So let's glue that down. And at the end, I can come back with a marker, just a black fine line pen or marker, and draw in the little butterfly antenna. Good and stuck down. Oops. So I hung it over the edge after I said I didn't want to do that. So we'll just bend it under and let it glue itself down there. Okay, let's see this side. This is a little bigger. We could do just the flowers here, because we have a small one here. Where did that little tiny butterfly go? See, now I'm feeling like I've lost a butterfly. Maybe it's mixed in with the flowers. Okay. This one has a little bit of a butterfly already on it, doesn't it? So that one's pretty bold there. This. Oh, there's the little one. Looky there. Could do a couple of butterflies. Do a small one here. maybe, I don't know, this it feels pretty empty right there with the lined paper, doesn't it? So I think we want one there. What do we think? Just a couple? I think maybe just the flower on this side. I'm not sure I want to make that more antique looking, because the butterflies aren't all, you know, antique, and the other ones aren't really antique looking. I mean, the flowers are kind of those colors, but they're printed on yellow paper, not really a antique looking paper. So grab my towel here, and I feel like my fingers get so sticky that I just managed to, you know, just can't manage to keep them from getting sticky. So I use the towel trying to keep them from getting sticky. I think I missed some glue there. And then I do things like that, and I have to, you know. There we go. Okie dokie. Let's grab that one. Hope you guys are having a good day. It is a Wednesday, middle of June. So I hope summer is feeling good for you guys. It has actually been cooler than normal here in the Valley of the Sun. We did hit 100 about a week and a half ago. And then we even went over, we hit 104. And now today we have just dropped back down to 90, which I know sounds hot, but in the Phoenix Valley in June, 90 is not really overly hot. 90's pretty good here. So, oh, that one's pretty. I like that there. Do we have something bigger? Let's see. Oh, that's pretty. Like that. And we could do a little butterfly here and just do some flowers here. That's nice. That's nice. So we've been battling some algae in our pool. You know, and pools are nice, but they're a lot of upkeep. And we need to have some work done on our filter. We have a sand filter, and it needs new sand in the trap, and so it has made it difficult to control the algae. So we're getting replacement sand to put in. Lochinvar was like, oh, I think I can do that. And then we found out that it needs like 600 pounds of sand. And all of the wet sand that's in there has to come out. So we're like, maybe we should hire somebody to do that. So like, no. 600 pounds of sand is not what I want to move, and it's not what I want Lochinvar to move either. So we decided that our best bet was to hire a professional, somebody who has the tools and the know-how, and can come in with movers and stuff and you know, move that sand around and take out the old sand and put in new sand and all of that. So okay, so let's do this side too. Maybe this one we can put in some little, we've got some flowers down here. I don't know. What do you think? We could do 3 little flowers like that. Just have the butterfly approaching like over them like they're in the distance. That would be cute. Okay, so let's do that. Let's do that. Since he's a lot bigger, we'll use one that's bigger, and it will give us the idea that he is much closer than the flowers, that maybe he is above the flowers and looking down at them, and we're seeing from his point of view, right? These lovely little flowers. Okay. This is why my fingers are sticky. Oh, goodness. You guys doing anything fun for the summers? Anybody going anywhere great? Do you have a really great trip planned? Love to hear about it. We will be visiting some friends and our daughter, and taking a look at our old stomping ground in East Tennessee. So that will be fun. We're gonna actually road trip it this year, which will be great. Luckily, we have good caretakers for our pets, so there'll be somebody here to take care of the kitty cats and all of that, so we don't have to worry about them. That makes it a lot easier to go someplace when you have people, you know, family and friends and stuff who will hang out and stay with your animals. Let's see, this is a big envelope. I could use a great big one here. What do you think? Should we do that? Maybe we want one of these other ones. Overlap it a little. That side or this side? Let's see. Okay, let's try that one. Let's try this one. It's a little smaller. I don't know. How about this one? Oh, I think I like this one. I think I like the color on this one, and I like it kind of over this way a little bit. And I like, since this butterfly is going this way and this one's kind of facing this way, I want this one to go a different direction. So let's start with our flowers. Oh my gosh, I don't know if you guys heard the phone a minute ago, but like that phone has been ringing off the hook today. Every time I turn around, somebody's calling. Okie dokie. Okay, let's get that butterfly in there. So I was thinking about, I was going to tell you about that I went on to the next project, and my husband found a box of ephemera that's related to Gilbert and Sullivan operettas, and so he gave it to me and said, you know, I don't know, maybe you want to do something with this. And I'm like, yeah. So I have already, you know, in my head moved on to that project. So, and I know that's bad because I enjoy the gluing down and the seeing it all finished. This is a fun part of doing it. But somehow my head just kind of moves on sometimes to, you know, to the next thing. So sometimes I have a hard time staying with the project I'm on. Plus, a while back, I started a glue book after I had had some medical issues and kind of been in bed for a while, and couldn't really couldn't get down to my studio the way I would have liked, and so I just colored. I did some coloring so that I had something I could do that was a little bit crafty. And then I used those to make a glue book, so you guys might remember that. This is not sticking. I'm not sure why. So I started that glue book, and now I really want to go back to it and put some stuff in it. We did a couple of pages. I showed you the book, and we did a couple of glue book pages, but I keep looking at it sitting on the side of my desk and thinking, when are you going to get to go back to that? And then I also have a paper doll book that I started that I wanted to put. I had bought some packages of cutout paper dolls from Goodwill, and I put some of them into a background and kind of made an album for them, and I need to finish those. I have a bunch more to put in there, and I haven't put those in either. You know, but somehow I just keep getting sidetracked. It's like I just can't manage to do you know, one project for very long. I have to stop and do something else, and then come back to the, you know, another one. So, you know, it's like that old Robert Frost poem, you know, two roads diverged in a yellow wood, you know, and it's like, knowing how way leads on to way, you know, he says he doubts he'll ever get back to that one, but I do want to go back to those projects, and I want to finish them. But sometimes I think I do better when I have a choice of projects. Do you guys do that? Do you think, oh, today I don't feel like doing that project? So if you only have one project going, that may, you know, that's really your only choice. I mean, you can always color or something like that. You know, you can always make ephemera or something. But if you only have one project going, it seems like I feel, you know, this is just me. I feel like I'm stuck. Whereas when I have 3 and 4 projects that I can choose from, I can get one of them out, and it's like, oh, I think I'll work on this one today, and then maybe the next day I'll work on something else. So I do think that that's just kind of how my brain works. That it doesn't really do that well on one thing. Oh, let's do the little butterfly on that one. That's fun. You know, so I don't know. What do you guys do? And I feel like different projects are creative in different ways. Like sometimes the, you know, creative problem solving is figuring out how to put the journal together. And sometimes the creative problem solving is figuring out what kind of theme to use and what materials, and, you know, what's an interesting way to put that together. You know, and, you know, do I want to use paint, or do I want to use markers, and do I want to use collage, and, you know, how do I want to do that? You know, and do I want to add jewelry or buttons or things like that? You know, how dimensional do I want it to be? Do I want to get out my sewing machine today? You know, that sort of thing. So I think different projects pose different creative problems, and so I think that is the essence of needing to have a different project to work on. Is needing to solve you know, different creative problems, different creative outlets. And when I say problems, I don't mean, you know, necessarily difficulty. I just mean working out how you're going to do something. You know, because creativity is problem solving. You know, art is problem solving. It's looking at what you have, materials you have, whatever limitations you might have. You know, maybe you saw something that you really loved online, but you don't have, you know, the Tim Holtz thing, whatever that everybody else has, or, well, I won't say everybody because I don't have any of that either. I think the only Tim Holtz thing I have is, I think I have one stencil that I got at Goodwill, and I have the Distress inks, the Distress Oxide inks. I think that's the only Tim Holtz stuff I have, mostly because I just can't bring myself to spend a lot of money on something like this. Not that it's not worth it, but I feel like the endeavor to me is more about making do with what I have. It's about using what I have in order to create something beautiful. So, you know, and that's not to say that there's anything wrong with buying stuff. I don't mean to imply that at all. I think everybody has to do what they like. That's why it's art and it's a creative endeavor, because there are so many different ways to do it. You can do it any way you choose, and that's how I choose to do it. So I'm not trying to disparage, you know, anybody who likes that. And the truth is, I would probably use printables if my printer were any good, but my printer is so terrible that there's no point in trying to print anything. So, you know, it is what it is. So, you know, I just think that the interesting part of doing this sort of thing is solving that creative problem. Let's see, where's my opening? There, and there. Okay. And so, you know, I think that's the interesting part of that. One's just a little big, isn't it? That one's a better size, but do we have another color? Oh, that's pretty. We could do a couple of them on this page. We've done a couple with just flowers. Oh, I love this one. This one's beautiful. What about these two? Yeah, I'm liking that. Yeah. So, you know, to me, it's all about the creative problem solving. So I think that's why I have to have, you know, 3, 4, 5 projects going all at once. I even, you know, I started and got a good start on a Halloween journal last fall, and I kind of did it late. I was late to the party, so it was not ready by the end of October by any stretch of the imagination. It has a lot of pages left to be decorated. So I kind of put it aside, and I'm thinking that as soon as I hit September, I'm going to go back and work on that. Maybe we'll just put a little flower down here in the corner. I don't know. Let's see what goes over here first. You know, so I think sometimes when you do, oh, that's pretty. When you set something aside for a little while, you come back to it, and it's all new. It's like you get to start it again, which is exciting. I think that's exciting. So I'm really not trying. I'm trying really hard to not overthink this. As you can see, I'm just kind of picking things and putting them down. Because I tend to really overthink whether or not this is the best butterfly or the best flower for this spot, when it really is of no consequence whether it's this butterfly or that butterfly. You know, they're both pretty, they're all pretty. So, you know, getting bogged down in which one goes where is a problem that I have. So I'm trying really hard not to let that get me bogged down today. I'm trying to kind of just move on with this. Okay, so, oh look, so now we have this and this and this opening all at the same time here. Okay. So do we want, what flowers do we want? We want some flowers here. I think that might be nice. Let's see. I'm running out of smaller butterflies. That's okay. There's plenty of room on this. Could kind of go this way. Kind of want that butterfly down here. So maybe I want to do that first and put that over the edge of the butterfly. I don't know, is that one, let's see, is it better use the short one down here? Maybe, maybe, maybe. Let's see how this looks. Oh, well, that yellow is pretty, isn't it? Okay, let's go with that one. Let's do that. So I had just, when I decided I wanted to do flowers and butterflies, I just spent some time fussy cutting, and I tend not to really love fussy cutting. It can be tedious. But yesterday when I was doing it, yesterday afternoon and evening, it was just so nice. It was very meditative. So I was happy to, you know, to have a little bit of time, just a little quiet time to kind of meditate on those flowers. And, you know, and I think it's nice sometimes to do something that does not require thought, like fussy cutting. Fussy cutting is not a major cognitive load, right? It's not a big cognitive load. So it was nice. I had some quiet, and I just spent a little time fussy cutting and kind of just relax. I found it very relaxing. So that was a nice way to spend a little time. Okay, so those two. Now let's see. We have one down here as well. Do we want to just put a butterfly on that one? Maybe we'll put this one down here. Maybe we'll put that there. Do we have? I'm running out of little butterflies. That's okay. I'm not sure it matters if they're over the top of it. With more contrast, maybe. Okay, so I think we could cut this off. Let's just kind of make this a little smaller here. There we go. And we can put that there. And we can put that there without having too much of a visual problem. Right. Oh. My glue book thing over here is starting to stick to itself. Guess it's time to change pages when that happens. I think these backgrounds would have been really pretty. I mean, all I did, as I said, was I just pulled pieces out of my scrap bag and just glued them down just to create a background, and then I put some gesso. But I think it would have been really pretty if I had over the gesso, like with some stenciling, would have been really interesting. maybe some botanical stenciling, and then like some botanical stenciling in black ink, and then just the colorful butterflies. That might have been a really cool way to go about this. You know, so I think there are lots of ways to do the same kind of idea, right? If I wanted to use the same idea. Let's see. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think maybe this one. Oh yeah, I kind of like that. So there's got a little piece sticking out here. So we'll go that way, and then we'll have the butterfly kind of go that way as well. I want to be sure I see this texture here. I like that piece. And then we'll find one here, and then we're almost done. So then we can do a quick little flip through, and the project will be finished. So, and then I can think about that one where how I'm going to put together the journal for the Gilbert and Sullivan ephemera. The ephemera he gave me is it's the reproductions of like first night theater programs. So it's fun, and they have ads and things on the back, and so there's some pretty fun stuff, and some of them are pretty fancy. So it'll be, I think it's going to be a lot of fun playing with that. So I have an idea of what I might want to make from it. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to put it together yet. So I'm still kind of working on that. Got a little bit sticking out here. Well, that's across the edge, so that's probably okay. But I don't know. I don't want it to catch. Okay. All right. So what about here? We can put something here. One more butterfly up here. Hello, kitty cat. I kind of like the orange. This one's fun. He's kind of flying by. Come here, Zapper. Look out, buddy. Although I'd really kind of like him going back. I'd like something kind of tipping back this way, since that one's this direction. I'd like it to go back the other way. Zapper, come on, buddy. Crafting with cats. So today we are crafting with cats. Maybe, come on, Zap. Come on, buddies. Come, hop down. Come on. Okay, let's see. All right, come on. Come on. Usually, he's not that persistent. Zapper usually gets right down when you kind of push him the other direction. He's kind of like, okay, fine. And he leaves. I don't know, do we like this one? I mean, there are kind of, these are the same. They kind of go together. But maybe we want to do a couple, like 2 different butterflies over here. I think I might like the butterflies better. Just the butterflies. Come on, buddy. That might be fun. Oh, look, we could do that one. Zap. Move. Oh my goodness. Okay, I like this one. Do we want this one? Or do we want the orange? I think maybe we want the orange for higher contrast here. All right, let's get those glued down. Oops, I've stuck it to my, oh goodness, now I'm struggling here. Okay, like that. Right, because after all, what, there's that quote, butterflies are just flying flowers. Right. So We don't need the flowers, we have the butterflies. Okie dokie. And then on the back, is there room for the big one? I don't know, I think he'd have to wrap around front. Well, I guess we could trim him. How much would wrap? No, I don't think that's... I think he might be too big for back there. Still a little big. Oh, I like that one, so that one's nice. Do we want some flowers on the back? Okay, I like that, so we'll do that one on the back. And we'll be almost done. Then we just need to put some antenna on the butterflies. And put the ephemera in. Alrighty, one more butterfly, one more day. Okay. All right. Let me grab a pen and I will be right back and we'll do the antenna and then I think we'll be done. Okay, I'm back. I've got a couple of different pens. I brought an ultrafine Sharpie and then this is sort of like a Sharpie. It's just a little felt tip marker. So I thought we'd go ahead and start on the cover. We'll try the Sharpie first and see about just drawing in some antenna here. You know, and they don't have to be perfect and they don't have to be anything. They can just be little lines and dots, so that one's done. Let's give this one, maybe a little curve here. We could do some little heart shapes. You can do curly cues. We'll do some different ones. Not sure. Let's try this pen and see if it writes any better on here. Oh, I think this is a little better. There we go. So see, we can give it a little curly cue in there. Or we can just kind of go straight up. There we go. There we go. This guy is kind of flying this way, so his antenna will be like this, and the other one will curve there in front of it. There we go. Oh, this one's a nice big one. We could do little hearts on the ends. That's cute. Right? He's your butterfly and he lives in your world, so you can do anything you want. Isn't that's what Bob Ross taught us, right? That it's our little world. So we can do it any way we want to. That's what I learned from watching Bob Ross. I don't know. I probably should have learned how to paint, but I didn't. I learned that it's my world and I can make it any way I want. Which seems like a good lesson. All right. There we go. Let's see. Oh, got two of them here. Maybe this one gets hearts and a little loop. He must be special. Well, they're all special. We could do a wavy line, all right? That one's good. Give him a little personality. All right, they can even put some little dots along the way. Oh, that one's pretty. I like that one. That one's good. Oh, this is wallpaper underneath, so that's absorbing. So, you know, sometimes you'll get that. The paper will react in a different way. So just go with it, right? Here's another guy who's kind of pointed off this way. So we're going to want his antenna to look like he's going to the side here. There we go. And then one more on the back. Let's give him a curly Q. I like that one. That one was fun. Okie dokie. Okay, so let's do a quick flip through. We'll take a look. And then it's just, remember, it's just envelopes. So we're just going to slide those cards into each of the envelope pockets. And I just glued this together by slipping the top parts of envelopes inside each other and gluing them down. And this is our flowers and butterfly kind of, I guess, envelope portfolio that we're going to fill with the ladies with the butterfly wings and the affirmations that we made last week. All right. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate your time. Until next time, remember, use what you have to make your life more beautiful. Bye.